Bonjour from the Cannes International Film Festival. I'm Serena Davanzo, and I'm here to talk about Horizon: An American Saga. This film was an out-of-competition film that premiered here at the festival earlier this week. So, some fun facts about it. Of course, as I said, is directed by Kevin Costner, and he actually self-funded the film for the most part, and he produced as well as directed and co-wrote it. Part 1 will be released in June of this year, and then in August there will be a release of Part 2. And then there's talks about having Parts 3 and 4 being made. As of now, we don't have any more information than that, but Cinema Daily will keep you updated as we learn more. So I'm going to read the description of the film from the Cannes website. With this film, Horizon: An American Saga, Oscar-winning director Kevin Costner chronicles the incredible epic journey of the expansion into the American West, before and after the Civil War. Between the Native Americans who saw their lands being colonized and those who were determined to settle there, sometimes at any cost, history is being written. In a flamboyant fresco where multiple destinies intertwine, dreams and hopes face obstacles and cruelty to offer a cinematic spectacle of exceptional scope and emotional depth. When it comes to what I liked about the film, it gives off the basic classic Western vibes that people know and love. Like when I was watching it, it made me feel like I was watching Westerns with my grandfather again, because sometimes I would sit and watch what he was watching, and he would always watch classic Westerns. So it kind of just made me feel like my grandfather was sitting next to me, even though he's no longer with us. So it kind of gave a little nostalgic feeling. So if you guys like Westerns, this is a good pick. One thing I liked about it had great casting and acting. The cast has many different well-known actors. Like, of course, you have Kevin Costner, who starred in it. You have Sam Worthington. You have Luke Wilson. There's a whole array of many different actors and actresses. Like, look, there's a whole list. There's just very small roles. Like, you know, in Oppenheimer, where there could be like a big name actor and they only got like 2 or 3 lines. Well, that was kind of the feel of this. Like, every time you turned around, there was a new actor. And a well-known one, you're like, whoa, when did you get in? And then you don't see them again. So that was like really crazy to think about. And visually, it was just visually stunning in my opinion. I think the cinematography, they did really well. But with this film, I was really excited to see it because the trailer makes it look like it's going to be an amazing Western film, which it's good in its own right in different aspects. But there were many things that myself and other people did dislike about it. It is a long 3-hour film. The film itself was very episodic. Like, there would be like different stories where they're kind of intertwined, but they're kind of not all at the same time. It's kind of like they could have all been like different episodes in a series and didn't affect one another. Like, it was very interesting in that aspect that it was like built that way. So the film itself was very episodic. Like, it felt like if you closed your eyes for a second, you'd be on a different episode and you'd be like, wait, what episode did I miss? There was the stories intertwined all in the same aspect because it was about before and after Civil War and colonizing the American West. So it all followed the same like theme and storyline, but there also was not really a cohesive storyline. With a classic Western has like boom, 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 a beginning, middle, and end. Whereas this one kind of did not seem to have like a cohesive storyline. Again, it was very episodic. And for those who know theater like myself, it kind of gives off the vibes of Polaroid stories or Love and Information, like a kaleidoscope type of play, where it's like they have different stories where they all mesh together as like a concept, but it's not a cohesive storyline. They're completely different scenes or completely different stories, all meshed into one thing. And that's kind of what this movie felt like to me. earlier I said there was great acting. And yes, the actors did amazing with what they had, but the characters themselves felt like they were half developed. Like there were so many characters, so many different stories that they were half developed, if that makes sense. Not in like a bad way, but it just felt like there could have been more to the characters. And I don't think any of that is on the actors' fault. They were given what they had, and I think they did well with it. I just feel like there could have been more to the characters, but that probably would have made the movie even longer to have more developed characters, which leads me to my next point. I think that this movie would have excelled much better as a TV series. If it was a TV series where we have chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they be different seasons, and then each season is, I don't know, maybe this one could be like 10 to 12 episodes long, because there was just so much like story that could be there, and it just felt like a very, very, very long pilot episode to a series. So I think this series, it could excel as a series, whereas into a full-length film, I feel like that's where it downfall, because there was stuff that could have been developed more, and that's why it kind of felt episodic. Like it kind of felt like you watched an episode, went to the next episode, da 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 da, and then you would come back to a different episode. And so I feel like it would help with the cohesiveness, it would help with the character development, and so overall, that's what I think about that. As much as I love a classic Western, I want to give this one a rating of a B-. As much as I love a classic Western, I'm going to give this a B-, because there definitely could have been a lot more to it. It had a lot going for it. It really did. But now let's bring more to the table. So I'm giving this a B-. Thank you so much for joining me today at the Cannes International Film Festival. And thank you so much for joining. Au revoir.